I know you're getting tired, but I want you to be patient. You know why? Because we have somebody really special that's going to come up and talk to you. Okay? I'm just going to tell you a couple things about him, but not a whole lot, because I want him to share with you what he wants to share, okay? So I'm going to invite a young man up here he's a local product. He's from Sacramento, California. Any of you from Sacramento? You ever been to Sacramento? He was a star tight end and a Super Bowl champion with the San Francisco 49ers. And he had some things happen in his life that I'm going to leave him to tell you about, but he's got a tremendous message about what it takes for you guys to avoid trouble and to reach for the best things that you can in life. So right now I'm going to bring him to the stage, and I want you guys to give him a really big, loud welcome as he comes up. So let's bring him up right now, Eason Ramson. Come on, guys.
Before I say anything, I need to know where my major support is in the crowd. Where my Niners at? I can't hear you. Where my Niners at? Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now, my second question. My Niners, if you yelled out, you raise your hand on this one. Please don't yell out and raise your hand on this next question. Where them Raiders at?
Yeah!
Okay. It's just a personal thing for me. I always, everywhere I go to speak, I need to know who got my back. My Niners, you got my back? That's what's up. Okay. My name is Eason Ramson.
I'm not talking to you. Nobody.
I played 10 years in the NFL. 6 of them. San Francisco 49ers. Where I was fortunate to be a Super Bowl hero. Super Bowl 16. I wore the number 80 for the 49ers before Jerry Rice. And because Jerry Rice was so famous and achieved so much, they have retired that number. He is the famous side of number 80. What I'm getting ready to tell you in a few minutes, you'll find out what my side is. After I left the 49ers, I went off to Denver. They traded me to Denver. I stayed there for 2 years, and from there to the Buffalo Bills. So, my purpose today, and I know you guys have been out here a long time. I really want to keep your attention. I want you to know that each and every one of you here today deserves the best that life has to offer. The NFL alumni, all the coaches here, we're all in agreement that that's what each and every one of you deserves. And that's why we put on this type of event to provide this information, this training, life skills to help you. Now, when I left San Francisco, like I said, I went to Denver, from there to Buffalo, and during my NFL career, I made some bad choices. I'm going to share those choices with you today, and my topic of discussion today is about making healthy decisions in the face of peer pressure. How many of you know what peer pressure is? What's peer pressure? Working hard? No, give me anybody else? Peer pressure. What's peer pressure? Yeah. What's peer pressure? I thought you raised your hand. You know what peer pressure is? Peer pressure. You know what peer pressure is? Huh? Okay. Peer pressure, do you know what peer pressure is? Come up here and tell us. Come on. Give her a hand. Come on. Give her a hand. Come on. Oh, give him a hand. My bad. What's peer pressure is?
Peer pressure is when you're pressuring yourself.
Okay. Peer pressure is when people you look up to. Nice try. Give him a hand for help for coming up. Peer pressure is when the people you hang around with influence you to do things. Those things can be positive, and those things can be negative. Boys and girls, I'm going to ask you to pay attention because this is critical. I only wish, and as I go through my story, you're going to find out why. I only wish that someone would have talked to me when I was your age about making healthy decisions in the face of peer pressure. Because, you see, I did okay in high school. I did okay in college. But it's when I got to the NFL and I thought I had arrived and I was with the people that I wanted to be like, that's when I started to make decisions that affected my life. As a rookie in the league, once I made the team, when I made the team, a group of the guys that I had looked up to, I've been watching them on TV, and now, you know, I made the team, I'm with them, I'm part of the team. A group of them came up to me and they embraced me after they found out that I had made the team. They embraced me, they hugged me, and they told me, you know what, you're one of us now. We want you to come out and celebrate with us. And they asked me to come out and celebrate with them. They asked me to go to a nightclub with them. Well, I decided these are people I look up to. I'm going to go hang out with them. This is what it's all about. That night I went out to the club, and I got to the club, and I'm partying. About 45 minutes into the night, I'm on the dance floor doing my thing. They didn't have a Dougie out back then, but I was doing something. Yeah. And I was partying, enjoying myself. And then one of the guys that invited me came up to me and says, hey, E, check this out, man. In about 5 minutes, we want you to meet us in the restroom. We got something for you. We have something for you. And you see, again, these are people I looked up to. I had arrived to my goal where I wanted to be as a pro. And they invited me to go to the club. Now they're asking me to go to the restroom, meet them in the restroom. Okay, I didn't think it through. I went to the restroom. Actually, I was there before them, pacing back and forth. I wonder where they are. Well, when they showed up, man, it was happy. They showed up, they came in. It was about 6 of them. They came in, they all hugged me. They embraced me and let me know how hard I had worked and how happy they were that I had made the team and now I was with them and one of them. When they did that, I felt validated. I felt happy. I felt happy. And while they were doing that, I was in the bathroom, my back was to the wall, and there's a couple sinks behind me, the mirrors in the men's bathroom, and they formed a semicircle around me. But while they were hugging me and congratulating me, one of them reached in his pocket. One of them reached in his pocket, and when he reached in his pocket, he pulled out this little vial. And this little vial, it's about this tall, was a cylinder, and it had a little chain on the top, and the little chain hung down the side with a tiny spoon on it. And inside of that vial was a white powdery substance. Anybody know what that was? Cocaine. Cocaine. So, I have seen this before, but now here's peer pressure in action, okay? Peer influence. People I look up to, they got everything I want. I didn't think it through. That day, I decided to experiment. That day, I decided to experiment with that drug. It was a happy time. They were accepting me into their circle, and I validated it by stepping up, taking that little spoon and putting it up to my nose and doing that cocaine. And from that day forward, that cocaine became a way of celebration. When we won games, when happy things happened, I celebrated. We celebrated. Over time, I started to celebrate and party and do a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, until I started to get embarrassed that I didn't want my friends to know what I was doing. From that day forward, things started to get tough for me. When I retired from the NFL, consequences of decisions I made, when I retired from the NFL, that was my rookie year. By the time I retired, 10 years in the NFL, my addiction had grown to crack cocaine, from powder to crack cocaine, $1,000 a day. $1,000 a day. Subsequently, I ended up homeless. I ended up beaten, left for dead. I have a scar on the side of my head right here. The dope man found me. The dope man found me. I owed him a lot of money. And when they found me that day, I didn't have their money. And they had these little bats, sawed-off bats. They beat me down in the alley and left me for dead. That day, I lost nearly a pint of blood. Consequences of decisions I made. Consequences of decisions I made to peer pressure. After that, I ended up in prison. I am a two-strike felon. I was looking at 35 to life on my third term. Young men, I have done 10 years in prison because of the consequences of decisions I made. 10 years. The drug became my first priority. And doing that drug, I lost the ability to love myself or love anyone else. I didn't care about anyone else. On my third term, after I'd already done 6 years, I went back to Sacramento looking at another case. This time, 35 to life is what the judge said I was facing. This time, when I was sitting in arraignment, the judge called my name. I'm sitting there in orange, got cuffs on, in court. When the judge called my name, from the back of the courtroom, I heard a strong voice. And that strong voice said, "Judge, May I speak to the court? That person was Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh, Super Bowl champion, head coach, 4 times, came to my arraignment hearing to provide and offer support. That day he talked to the judge. That day, when he talked to the judge, he talked about a man I didn't know anymore. He talked in court and he told the judge, he asked the judge to give me another chance. I was so embarrassed because I hadn't seen my coach since he traded me to Denver. And by the way, when he traded, right before he traded me, he asked me if there was something he could do to help me because he recognized there was something different about me. Something was changed. He had no idea what it was. And instead of asking for help, I told him, I'm good, coach, I got this. That day, Bill Walsh convinced the judge to give me another chance. The judge called a recess, came back into the courtroom. When he came back in the courtroom, he called me to the bench. And I'm thinking, oh my God, here it goes. Well, when they called that recess, I had an opportunity to talk to Bill. And seeing Bill come there for me and show that he cared about me when everybody else had given up. The only person left standing in my life at that point was my mama. That's it. That's all. Nobody wanted anything to do with me because I was scandalous, untrustworthy. I was a mess. Bill Walsh showed that he cared that day. And when he talked to me while the judge was on recess, I committed to him. I said, Bill, this means so much to me because you showed me that you care. I committed that day to turn my life around. I said, Bill, no matter what, if I do 35 to life or the judge give me another chance, I'm going to do whatever it takes to change. When the judge came back, he called me to the bench. And I said, oh God, here it goes. I walked up to the bench. The judge had a mean smirk on his face. He looked at me. He said, Mr. Ramson, based on the things the court has heard today, I am inclined to give you another chance. Mr. Ramson, I am commuting 35 to life to 28 months with halftime. At that point, he stood up out of his chair. Still with that smirk on his face, and he looked at me. And he said, Mr. Ramson, get some help. Well, young man, like I said, I had already committed that I was going to change. When I went back to my cell that day, I started writing letters to rehab centers. I got accepted to Walden House. Walden House in San Francisco accepted me. And when I paroled from San Quentin, I took public transportation to Walden House. Young men, everybody here in the audience, thanks to the person that cared and stood up for me, I was given another chance. Today, I am 17 years clean and sober from drugs and alcohol. Today, I am a high school principal.
I work
With youth. I work with youth who have been disconnected from their educational path. I have two.
That board's no good. I have. Give it the other mic.
Not working. Okay. I have two high schools in San Francisco. Both of them are community-based. I have a partnership with San Francisco Unified School District and a partnership with Five Keys Charter School. They're community-based, the Bayview Hunters Point YMCA. I work with the at-risk teams, the teams that everybody's given up on. And the name of my school, I bet you can't guess. I bet you can't.
That's the foul.
I bet you can't guess. Remember what I said Bill Walsh did that day? What did he do? He cared. Remember that? The name of my schools are called CARE, Center for Academic Reentry and Empowerment. Helping youth to turn their lives around when everybody else is giving up on them, and helping them to graduate and become viable assets to their community and their families. Now, those are consequences of decisions I made. And what I would like to do right now, is so that I can give back to you, I'd like to talk about how to make healthy decisions in the face of peer pressure, okay? But the first thing I want to do is I need 10 volunteers.
Chris.
You, come up here. Come up here.
I got one over here.
You, come up here.
Come on, come on.
You. Oh. How many is that?
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on, 6. You got 6.
Come on, come on. How many I got?
Three more.
How many?
2 more right here. 2 more.
Come on,
You,
come on.
you, and you.
Come on up.
You, right here. No, you, and you.
Come on up. All right. You guys, watch out for the cord. Watch out for the cord. Watch out for the cord. Okay. All right. I need y'all to pay close attention. This is the most important part. Okay? I want you guys to get a visual of what you're going to face as you grow up and go through high school. Give me 10 people standing right across the stage. 10. Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. Okay. I got 11?
That's all right. We'll take an extra one.
Okay. All right. National statistics. I want you to know what you're going to face when it comes to peer pressure and when it comes to making decisions about alcohol and drugs. National statistics say of 10 students by the time they enter high school, I'm asking you this question, of 10 students by the time they enter high school and finish high school, how many of them, I need an answer, will experiment with drugs and alcohol? Somebody said all of them. Okay, that's not the right answer. Yes. How many? You. Yeah. Stand up. Stand up. Come here. Tell everybody what you said.
8.
Say it again.
8.
Give him a hand. That's 1, 2. That's 1, 2. Change your microphones again. Okay. I'm doing this because I want you to see what the possibilities are. Because you see, addiction, young men and young ladies that are in the audience, addiction is a continuum. It starts with experimentation. It starts with experimenting. Experimentation opens the door. Remember what I did that first day when they asked me to do that cocaine? That was experimenting. That was experimenting, and it was recreational. From that, I went on to the next level to abuse it. Now, of 10 people, okay, they said 8, right? Okay, I got 11 up here? Okay, you 3 go sit down. Give my hand for helping me. Give my hand. All right. Now, no reflection on these young men that are up here, and the young ladies up here, okay, young men. No reflection on them as individuals, but now 8 of them have experimented by the time they got into high school, through high school, okay? They experimented. How many of them, national statistics, what does the national statistics say how many will go forward and be abused and become addicted? How many? How many? Huh? 3 is not the right answer. How many? 8 is not the right answer. How many? You. You. Yeah, you. 4, that's close. Yes. How many? 6? Not the right answer. Yes. 2, not the right answer. Back there. How many? None? Right here. Stand up. Come here. Tell them what you said.
5.
Give me a hand. Give me a hand. Oh, thank you. Okay. Go sit down. Go sit down. Go sit down. Huh? Okay. All right, so 5. 5 of them was the answer. Okay. Of the 5, how many of them will get addicted to drugs and alcohol? 5, right? 5. 5 will get addicted to drugs and alcohol. Now, my next question is, I'm going to double that number. Let's say 10. Let's say 10 people, youth, decide to go into rehab, like I did. I went to rehab. 10 decide to go to rehab and turn their lives around. National statistics say, I'm asking you this, how many of them will stay clean and sober the rest of their life? What? Come here. Come here. Come on, right here. How many?
1.
Give him a hand. 1. Give him a hand for helping me. Go sit down. Go sit down. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I wanted you guys to get a realistic picture. Now, stick with me. Stick with me. This is important. This is what we came here for. Hold on. All right. Now, we talked about peer pressure. Okay. Now, what are some things we can do when we have peer pressure in our face and somebody is inviting me to do something that could cause some bad consequences? What are some of the things we could do? Yes.
walk away and say no.
You hear that? He said walk away and say no. Give him a hand. That is one of the tools. Anybody else? What's another tool we got?
Ignore people.
He said ignore them. Give them a hand. Ignore them. You recognize, and young men, young ladies, audience, if somebody's offering you something, how do we know it's not good? Yeah. What? How do we know if it's not good?
At the place
At the place? How do we know that the person, if they're asking me to do something like you're going to school and they're asking you to cut school and go to the movies, how do we know if that's not a good thing?
you can get suspended.
Okay. So we got to think it through, right? The other thing that we all of us have a gift. Each one of us has a gift. How many of you know where your feeling center is? Where is it? Stand up. Where is it? Stand up, show everybody. It's right here. It's right here. It's your feeling center. If somebody asks you to do something, I'm asking you guys to hold on now. Stay with me, okay? Stay with me. If somebody asks you to do something and it don't feel right, this right here will let you know. And if you trust this gut feeling, you'll make a healthy choice. They say just say no, but just say no don't always work. So that's why I'm talking to you about things you can do. What other things can we do with somebody that we look up to is trying to get us to do something that doesn't feel good? What else can we do? Whoa! Say what? He said change the subject. Give him a hand. Change the subject. They ask you to do something. Oh yeah, did you remember the other day when change the subject? What else can we do? Anything else we can do? Yes. Huh? Ask questions? Like, what do you mean? Tell me what that means. Okay, well, you can ask questions. You can ask them, well, if I do this, what's going to be the consequence? If you ask me to cut school, how's this going to affect my grades? So, it's not one of the priorities, but it's something you definitely can do. Make an excuse, walk away. Yes. Huh? Whoa! He said tell an adult. Give him a hand. How many of us have an adult we trust in our life? How many? How many of us have an adult we trust? Young men, boys, young ladies. If you're going through something and somebody's peer pressuring you, talk to an adult that you trust. Ask for help. That is a strength. The other thing we talked about was to think through, and that's called consequential thinking. I want each and every one of you, one of you to know that you deserve the best that life has to offer. Okay. And right now I need everybody to stand up. Stand up, parents. Stand up, parents. Stand up, parents. Stand up, parents. Okay. One thing I learned, the most important thing I learned to help me stay clean and sober and to make healthy choices was I had to, are you guys with me? I had to learn to love myself. How many of you here today love yourself? Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. How many people love themselves? Okay. All right.
Raise your hand.
I'm going to divide it down to half. Right down the middle here, okay? Right down the middle. I need somebody, step on. Which side you going to be on? Which side you going to be on? Which side you going to be on? This side or this side? Let me see. Right down the middle. Right down the middle. All right. Something I learned that I still do every day. I learned this when I got to Walden House. They taught me to love myself, and this exercise they gave me, they told me every day when problems have faced themselves, or when I first get up, when problems present themselves, or I'm just sitting by myself, think positive. They told me to keep it simple, because life is not that deep, and to love yourself. Now, this side over here, we're gonna shout it out. Okay, we're gonna shout it out. I want you guys to say, keep it simple. Okay? Over here, I want you guys to say, keep it simple.
That's yours, bro. You grabbed your left.
Over here, I want you guys to say, it ain't that deep. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna count to 3. And all together, including the parents, I want you to say, hold on, all together, including the parents, I want you to say, I love myself. Okay, all right, everybody ready? On this side, 1, 2, 3. No. This side, you want to say, keep it simple. This side, it ain't that deep. All together, we're going to say, I love myself. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. I can't hear you. 1, 2, 3. All together, I love. One more time, I love myself. Thank you.